and thank you for joining our session today on the top 10 tips and tricks for successful fundraising. My name is Sunny Mullen. I am the Outreach Manager with Help Hope Live. It is our mission at Help Hope Live to support community-based fundraising for people with unmet medical expenses and related costs due to cell and organ transplants, catastrophic injuries, and catastrophic illnesses. We have been doing this for almost 40 years. So we're here today to share some of these secrets that we've come up with and that we've discovered over all of our experience with you to help you get on a fast track to fundraising for your expenses. So let's get started with tip number one. Tip number one, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even in the hardest of times, if it scares you, do it afraid. That is what one of our brand ambassadors told me recently, and what has helped her through her fundraising efforts for her husband's campaign with us. I know that it can be hard, it can be embarrassing sometimes to ask for help, but someone can only say yes to you if you ask them. Think of it as if you're giving them an opportunity to help you, not as if you're putting a burden on them with your needs and your wants. Really just switching that thought process can get you started really quick. So tip number two, start with an achievable goal. This is really important. You can always set a new goal. Each time you reach a milestone, it motivates your community to keep their efforts going. You don't want to set your goal for $200,000 and your first fundraiser raises $5,000. That $5,000 is really successful. So you can just set that goal for $5,000. There is nothing wrong with resetting that goal time and time again. It keeps your community engaged and really even excited to see those ceilings be broken every single time. So that's really important, is about being reasonable and logical for what your fundraising goals actually are. Tip number three, identify your community. This is really important for who you're going to be putting these fundraisers on for, figuring out who your supporters are, what types of fundraisers these individuals will want to attend, will be engaged with, and even the types of details like how much they would pay to attend your fundraiser, maybe what kind of food they like, what type of events they like. This then helps you plan that first fundraising event to get you started on your efforts. You don't want to set unreasonable goals with maybe a $50 ticket to an event when you could have something really successful at maybe a $5 ticket. That's where you have to know and identify your community. It truly does help. Tip number four, recruit team members. As Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You don't have to do everything yourself. There is no need to be a hero in your fundraising efforts. People are always looking for ways to help. You just have to ask. And in today's time and age, virtual volunteers are everywhere. You can set people up to help with your fundraising efforts from coast to coast. They don't have to be local to you, and that's the beauty of it. So you can really activate anyone in your community, whether they live down the street or 3,000 miles away. So recruit those team members, get them engaged, get them excited to start helping with your fundraising efforts, and that will make life so much easier when you're putting on these events. Tip number five, assign specific tasks. Use the skills of your community to your benefit. Another one of our brand ambassadors told us this recently during a conversation we were having, where she understands that her community can sometimes be overwhelmed when they know that her and her husband could possibly need some help, but they don't think they could help her. They don't know how to help her. She has started assigning specific tasks depending on people's talents. So maybe someone in your community is a great cook. Put them to work making meals. If someone's a really great social media master, put them to work creating a website or handling all of your social media efforts. They will feel so enlightened to be able to use their talents to help you in your efforts. And the easiest way for them to help you is for them to simply ask their companies if they have a matching gift program. This is the best way for their donations to double, sometimes even triple, if they just simply ask. And they usually have to ask their HR department. So that is a tip, that the HR department usually runs a matching gift program. But it's a great way to sometimes turn $25 into $50 or even $75. It's money, it's just waiting on the table for you. Tip number 6, no fundraiser is too big or too small. At Help Hope Live, we help individuals all over the country from every walk of life put on fundraisers all across the country every day of the year. So we have seen things from yard sales to major golf outings to jewelry sales online be extremely successful. Don't think you need to fill a ballroom with 200 people and have a grand gala to create a successful fundraiser. This goes back to one of our first tips where we said identify your community. Figure out who your community is and what types of fundraisers work best for them. Jewelry sales may go bonkers, and that may be something that's amazing. And maybe, again, hearkening back to another tip, maybe someone in your community makes jewelry. They can help you with that. So really tie all of these tips together. And like I said, no fundraiser is too big or too small. It's a really great effort, really great thing to set your expectations, to set realistic expectations. Tip number 7, think outside the box. Again, very important with fundraising, especially during this year. Maybe you turn to Facebook fundraising. Maybe you change what would have been a percentage of sales night at a restaurant where people would come and eat and percentage of their bill would go towards your fundraising efforts. Maybe you change that to a percentage of takeout sales nights. And very important, be creative with your marketing. I mean, don't you love Dolly Parton here? One of our clients, this is her dog. She sells calendars with her dog. She uses it on all her marketing. What else will get you engaged like a cute dog? So think of how you can engage your marketing and get people to your door for your fundraising. Tip number 8, engage the media. This may be scary. You may not know how to do this, but the media is very ready to have stories such as this they're ready for a happy story. So being able to get your story out to as far and wide an audience as possible, maybe through their social media, maybe through your local news outlet, maybe one of your friends works for a media outlet or knows someone who does. This can really help to broaden your reach. And you know what? It's a great way too to then do a follow-up story when maybe you reach a goal and to be able to engage the media again. So this is really important. I'm sure you've all seen stories such as these on the news, on social media. So why don't you go out and try to make them one of your stories? Why not? Tip number 9, think about an annual event. People come to us all the time and, fundraising looks very different for each individual. When you think your fundraising efforts are truly going to end up being years, because with this community, as you all know, your medical expenses are very expensive and they don't just shut off after year 1. So we really do advise our clients to set an annual budget of what your medical expenses are. And from that budget, use that figure to figure out how to figure your annual budget. So maybe your medical expenses come to $200,000. That's your number that you need to fundraise each year, is around $200,000. So set an annual event, and it's a great way to re-educate your community time after time, year after year, to let them know that you're still here, why you still need to fundraise, and how their fundraising efforts are still helping you. And with that, last but certainly not least, tip number 10, very important to stay connected with your community. Each time you have a great success, or maybe you purchase a big expense, such as maybe a modified vehicle or a big piece of equipment that your fundraising efforts have been going toward, vary your social media posts, put it out there, Thank your donors. Very important to always thank your donors. And this keeps them engaged. It lets them know what you're doing with their donations, which is really important. And maybe then they'll share it, and then it can, maybe it'll become viral. You never know. But stay connected with your community. It's really important to keep them engaged with your efforts time after time, year after year. We say with the annual events, and it really then links in with all of our other tips. So with this, I hope you found these tips helpful, educational a bit, maybe give you a little bit more confidence in getting out and starting your fundraising efforts for anything you may be seeing here at the Abilities Expo. Thank you for your time, and please be sure to come visit Help Hope Live at our booth. We can answer all your questions about fundraising and how we can help you even fundraise for everything you're seeing here at the Abilities Expo this weekend. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Sunny, yesterday my life was full of rain. Sunny, you chased away the pain. You remember that song in the 70s? That was an awesome song. I thought about you.
I have been sung every song with the name Sunny in it my entire life, so I know them all. I'm okay with it. Bring it on.
Awesome. I thought about you because just that presentation right there really just uplifted us, gave us some really good insight when it comes to fundraising and things like that. And we have some questions from our audience, Sunny, that we wanted to throw at you, if you don't mind.
Please.
One of the questions was, how does it coordinate between like Medicaid when it comes to terms of saving limits? How does that work with the fundraising?
So if you're fundraising with Help Hope Live, which we hope you will, come visit our booth. When you are fundraising with Help Hope Live, all of the funds are raised for Help Hope Live in your honor and are held within regionally restricted funds depending on where you live. So, and then at that point, we help you fundraise. We set you up with a client services coordinator. We give you all the tools necessary to go out and put on successful fundraisers. And then the funds come back to Help Hope Live and you submit your bills to us. So that's how we work very basically. But with that, all of the funds are Help Hope Live assets and should not count toward your income or toward any of your asset-based benefits. So you shouldn't have to worry about Medicaid when you come to fundraise with Help Hope Live, because you are technically fundraising for Help Hope Live in your honor. So that's something that we can help with, and is why we're here at the Abilities Expo, because we understand that that's such a big restriction on this community.
Awesome. And Sunny, this next question right here, I never really thought of until now. A person said, I feel like I've exhausted my friends with fundraisers. How can I still raise money?
And so this is something, when you come to Help Hope Live, we set you up with a personal client services coordinator that can really help you, talk you through this entire process and see if maybe there's something you haven't done yet. Maybe put a new spin on something. We've done a lot of virtual fundraising this year. Like I said, percentage of sales nights, and even maybe there's something within your story that can get picked up by a media outlet or on social media. There's always something that can help kickstart your fundraising back up again. I understand there's definitely a lot of fatigue out there in the fundraising world, but that's why we say, one of the tips was even setting an annual budget. So maybe it's best for you to do an annual event so that you don't fatigue your community and you come back to them year after year. So there's so many options, and that's something that our client services coordinators can talk through with you.
I love that. I love that. And another question someone had, what kind of fundraisers are best? What are some creative ideas for fundraising?
Absolutely. And so I had mentioned in the piece that we service all 50 states. So truly, what type of fundraiser is best? There really isn't one answer for that, because all 50 states are different, all communities are different. So, whether you're in a rural area or an urban area, you have a large community, you have a school community, you have family. That's why I said, even, we had someone last summer have 2 really successful yard sales, community yard sales, where everyone donated items in 2 different states. So that was really successful there. We've had people who are in golfing communities and have really successful golf outings. So there really isn't one cookie cutter fundraiser that's going to work for everyone. It truly depends on your community and where you live and what your interests are. And that's what we can help talk through with you and work with your community on that, because there shouldn't be a cookie cutter fundraiser. If there was a cookie cutter fundraiser, we wouldn't be working as well as we are at this point. We are creative. That's what we're based on. And we help you with flyers. We help you with all of that information, because there just isn't one fundraiser that's going to raise $1 million for every single person.
Yeah, and I want to let you know you did a fantastic job at that workshop, Sonny. I mean, you were like just smooth with it. We can understand it and everything. Fantastic job. I just want to give you props with that. Um, has there ever been a fundraiser where you and the team are like, I'm not sure if this idea is going to work, and it's like it just blew up and it did work? You guys ever had that before?
So, I mean, let me think, and I will, full disclosure, I'm not a client services coordinator, so I am not using my expertise on that. So I can't take any credit for our fundraisers or how they're put on. So I'm trying to think, there are definitely some, not that they're not successful, but just some that are so different that, it's great to see them. We had someone this year who is a Trekkie, loves Star Trek, all of that. And so they had a Star Trek watch party. Why
What?
not? Like I said, what are your interests and what does your community want to be involved with? That's what her community likes. As you saw in the piece, one of our clients has this really famous dog named Dolly Parton. And so that's where a lot of her fundraising has been surrounded by Dolly Parton. There's definitely I will give you one example of a really odd event that I just remembered. There is one, and I believe they live in the Northwest or somewhere up in the mid states, Northwest area, that they have a mouse race every year. Not something any of us have ever heard of, but their community rallies around this and it is successful every year. And I will also note though, that success is different for everyone.
Right.
So as I mentioned, setting your goal and all of that, $5,000, success. $100,000, success. It really depends on what your end goal is. So I don't want anyone to ever be discouraged thinking that their fundraiser is too small and won't raise enough money. But yeah, that mouse race kind of always gets us, and they do it every year and it's successful every year. And so it's so funny.
I am like blown away. You had me at Star Trek, but with the mouse
Yeah.
race, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool right there.
Yeah.
Another question someone had: does Help Hope Live help design flyers and things for fundraisers?
Absolutely. And so that is part of our client services coordinator's expertise. That is one of our bread and butter pieces, is that we assign you one of these personal client services coordinators that helps you talk about the types of fundraising you want to do, helps you plan your fundraisers, and then really does help you create your flyers, any media content you might need, press releases, helps write your story for your campaign page for our website, and is really there left and right for, you can get them on the phone Monday through Friday. You can get them on email Monday through Friday. And even our finance team, you can get on the phone or email if you have questions about your donations or your fund disbursements. So we are really here, we're hands-on, and we're here to help with all of that nitty-gritty work that you don't have the time to do, you should not have to be doing by yourself. And this is one thing that we have it from a survey last year, that using Help Hope Live, our clients say that it helps them feel less of a stress on their community. So let us take this one piece of stress off of you.
I love it. I love it, Sonny. And one last question. Someone asked, how much does HHL service cost their clients?
So flat out, our services cost nothing to our community. We do have a 5% administration fee on all donations that come in, but we do allow our donors, when they are donating online, to cover those fees within their donation. And we are seeing well over 50% of our donors actually covering those fees, so that our clients are benefiting from more of their donation. But all of that expertise, all of the flyers, all of that personal support that I just talked about, we don't charge our clients for any of that. So it's a really great benefit, because we are a 501c3, we are eligible for matching gifts. All donations are tax deductible. So we offer a lot that you just won't find anywhere else.
Awesome. Sunny, give that information out again about how ones can not only see you here, but also see you after here as well.
Absolutely. So please stop by my booth. I'll be here all day today. You can chat. My email's on there. Feel free to email. Help Hope Live is our booth. Beyond that, please go to our website, www.helphopelive.org, or call our 800 number, 800-642-8399. And we are open Monday through Friday, 8-ish, 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so we are on Eastern Time. You can find us on all social media. We are Help Hope Live org on most of our social media. And please just get involved. We have so many resources for the community, let alone fundraising. But we do webinar series, we have resources, we have a resource guide. And we're really just here to help you live a more independent lifestyle. Whatever that means to you, we're here to help you get there. So please reach out. I'll be here for the rest of the day through my booth, and then you can always find us online. So thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Kathy and Donna, the ASL interpreters as well.
You are so awesome, Sunny. We really enjoyed your smile is just radiant. You're lighting up our day. So thank you so much.
We miss being there in person, Paul. I really do. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys, hopefully in Chicago, if not in Houston. So definitely, sooner than later. We can't wait to see you in person.
All right, sounds good. Well, hey, go out and check out Sunny at her booth and our great exhibitors as well. We'll be right back here. And that song is still stuck in my head. Sunny, my life was filled with rain. We'll be right back here for more abilities. Take care, Sunny. Take care, folks.
Bye, Paul. Thank you.